All right. So, Jonathan, thank you for joining me today. So, just kind of tell me a little bit about your career and how you've gotten to the point that you're at right now.
Yeah. Out of high school, I went to a junior college, East Georgia State. I went there for 1 year, and then I transferred to Miami, Ohio, in Oxford, Ohio, and played there for 3 years. And then I was fortunate enough to get drafted by the Red Sox in the eighth round in 2022. And I'm still in the Red Sox organization. Just finished my second full season with them. Um, I was in low A all of 2023, and then this past year I started in high A Greenville, and then I was promoted to double A probably like 2.5, 3 weeks into the season, and I was up in double A the whole year.
So, kind of tell me a little bit about how your season went before we started working together, and then when we started working together, kind of talk to me about how things changed for you.
Yeah, before we started working together, coming into spring training this year and the first few weeks of the season, I was throwing a lot harder than I was in previous seasons. And then probably about like a month or two into the season, I kind of just lost some velo. I went from being like 92, 94 to 90, 92 and just kind of stuck around like that low 90s mark for most of the year. And then probably like early August, I think, is when we started working together.
Hmm.
And I mean, it wasn't like an immediate change, but I definitely like throughout the a couple weeks and like nothing is just going to be an immediate change in this game. And so throughout a couple weeks of hard work and really focusing on the movement patterns that you gave me, I saw my average velo tick up a mile an hour. And I was hitting higher velos more consistently rather than like once in a blue moon earlier in the season.
So, kind of talk to me about the issues that you were having when we first started working together, and then the things that we did to ultimately try to correct those.
Yeah, one of the main things is like I just wasn't rotating very well. Um, I wasn't timing up my rotation very well, and so we worked on really a lot of T spine stuff. And if he Connor were to put up the pictures, you could definitely see the change in the T spine mobility just from the standing still pictures. But I definitely rotate better now. I feel like I can get more hip shoulder separation, which is a very big factor in velocity, and so really just hammering down the rotational stuff has really helped me out a lot.
So you and I have never actually done any sort of mechanical work, but I would love if you could kind of just explain how posture has impacted your mechanics without specifically focusing on your mechanics.
Yeah, so it like the movements you've given me have helped me reach uh what's the word I'm looking like deeper mobility, deeper
Mhm.
points of rotation and like to where I can I'm trying to think of the right word here, but just like basically has helped my range of motion to where I can hit those points that I need to get to in order to rotate well or stick into my front leg better. It just some of the stuff you've given me, whether it be the T spun stuff like I mentioned, or any of like the like activation stuff, has really helped me not only have better mechanics, but have clean, like be healthier, be cleaner moving down the mound, and just better movement overall in total.
Absolutely. So as far as kind of like what you're hoping posture will allow you to do moving into this off season, what's your big focus moving into your next season where you're trying to make another jump towards really solidifying yourself at double A or even getting up to triple A?
Yeah, definitely still continuing to throw harder and throw hard the entire year. Like velocity is such a big factor in the game now, and I haven't always been a guy who throws that hard. And so being able to move correctly and move better through the posture work that you've given me is definitely led to higher velocities, and I can see that in my training right now. Like we just started doing some pull downs and stuff like that in the off season, and compared to the my base pull downs where I was last year, it's a higher velo, and so really just being able to use the range of motion that I've acquired through the training to help me.
Absolutely. So as far as like anybody who's kind of considering doing posture therapy, how would you kind of describe the program to them and letting them know what this entails?
Yeah, so when I first looked into it, like I thought posture therapy, like, oh, he's just going to tell me to roll my shoulders back and stand up straight. But no, I wouldn't even really consider it posture therapy, so to say. I would consider it more of like movement therapy and teaching your body to get in better positions naturally rather than just like trying to force yourself there. And the movements that gives you will definitely help you naturally get into those positions rather than try to force yourself to them.
Absolutely. So if you had to kind of explain to somebody what posture is and what it's trying to do for your body, how would you kind of answer that question?
Um, I would say like the first thing it does is getting you back to how your body's supposed to move. Your body's not supposed to like be in this hunched over state or like where your butt's sticking out way into the air and stuff like that. So it's really just like getting you back to how your body should actually naturally align. And once you get into that position, when you're walking around every day, you can really hammer down some specific movements and patterns that Connor gives you in order to um, move better throughout, not just like throughout the day, but throughout on the weight room or on the mound or on your whatever position you're playing. It just helps you all.
Absolutely. And then last one for you. So outside of velo, what's like the goal for this season coming up? Where do you want to try to get out of yourself?
I would love to make it a triple A this year. Um, that's a very big step. And
Hmm.
obviously, being one step away from the bigs, being one call away, that would be a goal that is it's definitely achievable because you can like guys do it, and so that'd be an awesome goal. But definitely solidifying myself in Double A, proving that I'm more than good enough to be there, and I deserve the chance to get called up to Triple A and have the chance to play in the bigs.
Absolutely. And I think you're fully capable of it and you're doing everything that you need to do to put yourself in those positions to achieve those goals.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, Jonathan, I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me and I'm wishing you the best of luck moving into this season. I'm looking forward to continuing to work with you.
Yeah, sounds great.